I don't know much about Colombia except for two things: coffee and Pablo Escobar. So, what are like certain things about Colombia that you think like other people should know?
Well, Colombia is the most diverse country culturally and also in biodiversity in the world. My
Okay,
country,
really? Okay.
my country have more than 1,000 different indigenous cultures that is still living and is still living in their communities inside the country in the different regions of Colombia. Colombia also have like different cultures. Let's say in the Caribbean coast where I was born, most of
Okay.
the people is very similar to a Cuban or a Puerto Rican or a Dominican people from the islands in the Caribbean, and we are very mixed. And we have one way to speak in. There's 7 states in the
Right.
Caribbean region of Colombia. Each state they speak
Right.
different accent and different slang.
Okay, but even though it's different accent, you can still understand because it's Spanish, right?
It's Spanish, but
Right.
some people have a very strong accent, so you will have like hear twice or a second
I
to
know,
really
yeah.
understand
It's the
what
same for me if I go like Scotland and I hear Scottish accent. They're speaking English, right?
Mhm.
But it's different.
Exactly.
Is it like that?
It feels like that, yes. And
Yeah.
in Colombia, just in that region, there's seven different states where they speak different. But if you go to the mountains, to the Andean, the Andes mountains,
Right.
all the states that are in that area, each one they also speak
Oh, I
different
see.
accent and different. If you go to the Pacific Ocean side, that is jungle, it's mostly African people,
Whoa, okay.
and they speak different way to speak to mine.
What
If you go to
about
the mountains, it's mostly white people.
what about
There's mixed, but the people that was there endemic from that place, mostly descendants of Germans, whites, or Spaniards.
what about Japanese and Chinese people?
There's not much Chinese. There's a little number of immigrants. I
Right.
know that in the south by the Pacific side of the coast of Colombia and the south side in
Right.
a department is a state called Valle del Cauca.
Okay.
So in the 1800s, one writer from Colombia called Jorge Isaacs wrote a novel called Maria, and it was translated all around the world, even to Japanese. So
Mm.
I don't remember the name of the person, but this Japanese guy read the book back back in Japan, and when he wrote it, he said, "I got to go to live there." So he convinced a bunch of Japanese people to move to Colombia in the 1800s, and they start their colony of Japanese people in south of Colombia by Cali.
I see.
And there's still many Colombians. They Most of them don't speak Japanese or
Mm-hmm.
don't relate culturally to Japan, but they keep the genetics and they keep the last names.
Okay.
Like and that's one community of Japanese people living in Japan in Colombia.
Hmm.
But
By the way, if you see me using my phone, it's because I'm writing notes to make topics for
sure,
the.
sure, no
Yeah, yeah.
problem.
So, my friends, especially male friends, always boast about how Colombia has the most beautiful woman on earth. They say even the cash register, the waitress, like everywhere you go, the garbage lady, like everyone is so hot. Is that true?
I think that everywhere in the world, everybody is beautiful. I think I live in New York, and New York is like every day you will see thousands of beautiful women if you're
Right,
walking in
I
Soho
see.
or if you're in Colombia, it's no different. I think, like if you're in the Caribbean coast and go to the beach, you're gonna see a lot of beautiful women in the beach. If
um,
you go to
mm,
Medellin, well, we are very mixed culture. Like
right.
so, in Colombia, you will see all kind of skin color and all
Mm-hmm.
kind of hairs and size, but mixture. Like for example, my grandfather was black, but he had blue eyes and kind of a straight hair.
Mm,
My mother is green eyes, but she's a little like my skin, like a little darker than me,
mm-hmm.
but with green eyes and blonde hair. I don't have blonde
Yeah,
hair.
you didn't get lucky to get the
Oh
green
yeah, the
eyes. You're
green eyes.
right. Yeah.
But all my body hair is blonde. Like my face hair, my is blonde. So it's that like we are all mixed in
Mm,
Colombia. So you my ex girlfriend was a girl that looks like German or American girl, blue eyes, blonde, white.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So,
Yeah,
in your opinion, how Colombian
Japanese
women
women
different?
are beautiful. I was crazy about how beautiful Japanese women are.
But have you experienced like chatting with female Japanese people?
I'm married with a Japanese woman.
Oh, right
I'm a
now,
married.
okay, so you're perfect to ask this question. So, how a Colombian woman personality different from Japanese women?
Well, Colombian women can be more mm, passionate, less shy in some sense. I think
Right,
like
right, right.
women are more open all around. Like it depends. There's personalities
Yeah,
because in
true,
Colombia there's
true,
also
true.
quiet women that they will not be so wild.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can't really
But
judge on race. Everyone's
is
different.
more open. In Japan, I met girl. I remember I was doing photos in Kabukicho, and I met one girl, one hostess,
Mm-hmm.
and it was the first night I met her. I was taking photos of her, and she was like in underwear in the street.
Oh, yeah, right, right, true. So that
And it was
particular Japanese wasn't shy.
exactly like I was, and it was like 11, almost midnight.
Oh, wow.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah, she's brave.
and we were drinking inside the club, and then she was wearing a makeup and the outfit, and said like, let's do some photos out in the street. And I
Right.
said like, yes. And she was just underwear, and I was doing photos with everybody looking around like what's happening.
Oh, I see. And I know for like taking photos, the camera is really important, and I checked the prices. It's very expensive for a camera. So, what camera do you use right now?
I use film cameras, and
Oh,
most of all my work is made with film, so these ones are not so expensive. I got a
oh,
let's see,
okay, okay.
right
I
here
know.
I got my Minolta Maxxum 800.
Uh,
The 200 $300.
oh, okay, not that bad because usually cameras go for like what? The really good ones, like $1,000 US, right?
And this is a Mamiya medium format film camera.
Oh, wow, you
It's
have it.
very good
Yeah.
camera. I paid $1,000 for this camera.
Okay.
But yeah, there's digital cameras that cost $40,000.
Right.
So
Yeah. So, what's the difference between visual art and all the other arts out there? Because in your profile, you didn't just say art; you said visual art. So I'm curious. I mean, I have no experience with art, so I'm gonna be ignorant, right? So can you tell me what is
when
visual art?
when I so visual art will be everything involved that involve the images. So that will include video art, that will include photography, that will include or screen printing,
Okay.
or it will include to do video mapping, uh, all that kind of expression that involves images or creation of images or capture of each images. That will be a visual artist. Like
I
I'm not
see.
a painter myself, but I have paint and scratch over film of photos I have taken, for
Mm-hmm.
example, or I edit video based on photos, or I do 3D scanning of objects and then projecting them, or augmented reality. Now that it's
Mm-hmm.
new technology, the recent 5 years have brought so many new tools to play with. So that counts of it. Scanning things, objects in 3D, then exporting them in augmented reality, or using them to with a video being
Mm.
projecting things over.
In your opinion, what can somebody do to enhance their skills as a visual artist?
Study, go get the books, get into YouTube, get the tutorials, get into the websites that have
Right.
the forums of people commenting.
Okay.
Right
Okay.
now, I think that's the best way to learn almost anything you want.
Online,
Is
right?
Yeah, almost anything you want. At least the theory. The practice is another thing, but the theory you can get it from internet.
So, if somebody is now starting to become a visual artist, what advice would you give them?
To practice and
Mm,
to read, to get inspiration, go to movies, go to theater, go
right.
to
Okay.
museums, get inspiration, write the ideas, and try to execute things, like even small things.
Okay.
Like when you see something like a mapping installation and you think, oh, that's too complicated, just if some get some cheap video being of $10 or $20, now you can get it cheap like that and
Mm-hmm.
connect it to your computer, make experiments, and it that will bring creativity in, and
Mm-hmm.
creation, just the practice, and they do small projects just for the fun of it.
Yeah, I
So,
really admire artists and how much hard work and creativity goes into what they do. I really respect it.
thank you, mate.
Yeah,
What do
and I noticed something like I don't know if that is a virtual background, or if that's your real background. All those plants, is it real?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
my
you're
house.
okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, I got surprised because
I
it's so
put all
much.
those.
Yeah, you're like I thought you were in like back in Colombia in the jungle or something.
They say that when they come inside my house, everybody says, "Is this a jungle?"
Yeah.
Because all the entrance is full of palms, and there's more. Like that's just there's more plants, and in front of me there's more plants, and
Right. Okay. Okay.
yeah, I like to feel kind of the jungle culture.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. It's really unique. I like it. So and also I noticed that we follow the same guy, Harry Boy.
How, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And I've noticed some comments from you on his videos. So can you tell us more about your relationship with him?
well, I started to watch videos of Harry Boy a few months ago, and not only him, but different interviewers or
Okay.
journalists, kind of guys that are doing that in Japan and in
Right.
other cities around the world. I have noticed it's a trend that have become normal all around the world.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
There's from here in US, there's a very cool guy that have a program called All Gas No Breaks,
Oh,
and it's also very interesting. It's
okay.
more
I'll check him out.
that 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 will be like a 1 hour show of Harris or one of the other guys that do this, but it
Ah,
will
I
be a
see.
whole group of people of a huge event, like a Trump rally, or people that think that the earth is flat earthers, that he will go to these crazy places where crazy people or different people get together, and he will interview them and hang out with them,
Right. Right.
and then get all that reality.
Yeah. Are there like any particular videos of Harry boys that stand out to you?
Well, I like a lot what he does,
Mm-hmm.
try interviewing people, young people from Japan.
Right.
You can take a look how young people and also people that is not regular people from Japan.
Yeah,
I think he
true.
got
Yeah,
an eye,
I don't know how he
got
like
an
does
eye
that.
to catch people that is not the regular Japanese person, but
Right.
somebody that is like a, let's say a borderline of society,
Right.
or somebody that is like pushing the limits a little of what
Yeah,
is
I noticed that.
allowed to be in Japan. I like it. I mean, I like it, but at the same time, I don't want everybody to become crazy. And I think the other thing I was thinking, I think some people that is very naive or they have a very like fixed minded, they're gonna think that all Japanese girls are crazy, like some of the girls he
Yes,
interviewed,
yes, yes,
or some
yes.
of the guys are crazy. But it's not like that. He's not everybody's like that in Japan.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just showing what is not seen normally. I think that's one of his things, and what other guys that are doing interview to people in the streets are doing. There's
Right.
another ones that are more specific into looking drunks. There's one that are more specific. I have seen a girl that is interviewing girls about the point of view of
Yeah,
Japanese.
I think there is girls interviewing girls. That's the name of the channel.
And there's I seen, well, all kind of interviewers. I
Yeah,
think
I
that
know.
that's local
Yeah,
in
I mean, I
Japan.
also do what they do. I have another channel called like Johan in Japan. This is just podcast.
Mhm,
And I just interview normal people, actually.
mhm.
If I happen to bump into them, the special ones, I would. But earlier we were talking and you had some complaints about his videos. So can you like tell us more about those like complaints?
No, but I don't really have complaints about his videos. I like his videos. I complain about I like I mean he shows sometimes some people that I think like, nah, you are wrong. But that's also the work of Harry to show those fucked up guys, or sometimes fucked up people, or
Mm-hmm.
sometimes that people will draw themselves out there and like, look at me, look how shitty I am, or they think they're cool, but they're
Okay.
not cool.
I
And then that it happened that he's here or another interviewer like Harry's there, and they catch that. And I
right.
like to call out that kind of behavior because the world is kind of could be full of assholes, and we don't want a world like that. At least I don't.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to call them out. If I see an asshole, I kind of call out right there, like, nah, that's not the right behavior, bro.
No, and what I admire about you is a lot of people too shy to call them out. They just stay silent, they stay passive. But people like you call them out. You're brave, and I really admire that. I admire people like you.
Thank
Like you feel passionate. You think this is wrong, and you do something about it. You don't just like stay quiet, right? So
Yeah, I kind
yeah,
of. I sometimes think that society is. I feel sometimes is rewarding and clapping the
right.
asshole,
Yes, yes.
dirty, or the, and I mean, it's, and I was talking with Harry, about that. It's cool to be individual. I
Right.
commented in one of his videos recently. Actually, it's cool to be an individual person. It's cool to be different and all that. But if the people think that Japan or any place in the world is like crazy, they just think that everybody's crazy and they're gonna act crazy. But it's not
True,
like that.
true. Yeah.
Like you can be an individual, an authentic person without being a narcissist or without being an asshole. You can respect other people's space. You can respect the country when you're in somewhere else country. Like for
Mm.
example, I hate the guys that go to Colombia exclusively to get girls. Like it's becoming an attraction for international people.
Only for that,
Like
right?
in Japan is the same. But I suppose everywhere in the world is the same. People come to New York expecting to get a girl or get a guy, right?
But I noticed that in Japan, the Japanese women are really inclined to the white. Like white guys, like Thailand, Philippines, Japan, they have like a high image of the white people. I mean, I'm living here now, so I know, like most of the girls is like white, like it's like cocaine, you know?
It's a colonized mindset, I think.
Yeah.
I taking one of the Harry Boys people saying and speaking about that, and yeah, we live in a world where the Caucasians colonized all the others for something
Mm,
100 years, take the resources.
mhm.
So with these resources, you build the big cities,
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
develop the science and all that,
Mhm.
and then you win the wars, and
Yeah.
you to the places with the money and the resources, and
Mhm. Mhm.
so I suppose that offers how you say security to some woman.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
And
different
and they
right
don't
now.
care. They don't care about how the guy looks because when I'm walking around, I see some guys that I think is not like good looking at all, even overweight, and they're having these very high class girls that I've been noticing, and also
Yeah,
yeah, and also
the combination maybe between money and
yeah,
because the money is concentrated in the first world, which is US, Europe.
right, yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
right now we got
So
China, Singapore, and Japan, but most of the money and the image of wealth and power is located in the Caucasian world. So the woman kind of look for that kind of thing.
and I feel so sorry for my brown friends. So if I'm talking to my like Filipino friends, my Indian friends, and then we at a restaurant and we have our white friends. So let's say it's three white guys and then three brown guys, right? And we're exchanging stories about dating. The white guys have like so many stories to say, very crazy stories. And then when we talk to the brown guys, they're like, "Oh, I just played video games at home and this." So it's really like kind of sad,
It
you know?
happens here in New York as well.
Yeah.
For example, when I see men of color, they mostly go out. Here's mixed, don't get me wrong, because you see all kind of couples, but I think that kind of couples are a minority.
Mm-hmm.
To and they also belong to a sector of society of like educated people, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
people that they went to college, they got the fancy job, they grew up here, many second generation immigrants, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
like or so those men of color but that went to college here and got money, they having access to date with white women, but I think they are American
Mm-hmm.
in their mindset and the way they speak and talk and everything. They
Mm-hmm.
just only have a brown skin and all that. So
Mm-hmm.
once you got the chip, I think it's easy to get along with the woman that have the same chip of the culture.
Right.
You're a guy that just immigrated in their 20s from India to US or from Philippines to US.
Mm-hmm.
Most of
Mm-hmm.
those men only will date Filipino woman or Indian woman because the culture will the women that are willing to go out with them are just Filipinos or
Mm-hmm.
Asian because they know your culture. You kind of communicate with them. When you come with your manners from another country here, even if you have good manners, just for the way of speaking or for your accent, many American women, doesn't matter the race, if it's Asian, whatever, but they were raised here, they
Mm-hmm.
will not go out with you. Or
By the way, how is the culture clash between you and your wife? Because Colombian culture, Japanese
oh, it's
culture.
big, it's super big, but we get along. We're
Oh,
very
okay.
independent.
Okay.
So when she's watching Japanese comedy, sometimes I don't understand
Yeah,
why
true.
it's funny.
Right. To to me, watching Japanese comedy is like comedy for kids. They scream really loud, they bump into each other, they fall down. It's more like kid
Yeah,
comedy, in my opinion. They don't use like intellect to make you laugh. They don't use conversation to make you laugh.
yeah, exactly.
You're
It's
right.
more about actions of things, weird things, or funny situation. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like so. Or what? I love to dance and go out to dance. She
Uh,
dance with me here sometimes at home, or she don't like go out to us. It's not part of her culture.
oh, yeah.
Like
Okay. Right.
going out to dance music or tropical music like mine. I dance whatever, all kind from electronic
Colombia
to my
people,
music.
Spanish is like, I think, salsa or flamingo or something like a
I
bachata.
Yeah, all that, but I dance all that. I just like to dance, so I will
Okay,
go
okay.
to all kind of music concerts or venues. She don't like that, but we are very independent. I think if you marry with somebody from another culture, you have to share some parts and other parts you accept it and let it go.
How long have you been married?
3 years almost, and
Okay,
we've
well,
been
you have
together.
experience on being married. So, what advice you have? What
Oh,
do you have to give
no.
people, single people, about marriage?
Oh, just you have to know with who you're getting married. Like
You
talk
have
with
to know,
them.
right?
Yeah, and make arranges before getting married. What is important, kids, money, all that kind of things.
Oh, you need to discuss
You
all
have
of
to
that.
make agreements. Yeah, it cannot be. Well, I had many couples along my life. I've
Oh, yeah.
been
Oh,
dating a lot.
right, right, right.
So, and I lived with women before this wife. So, you really need to talk,
Talk,
make things
communication.
clear between you and them,
Okay, okay.
and see if it's gonna work or no. I think before you go crazy in love and you do crazy things for love or for couples, or you
Mm-hmm.
just not thinking, you just let yourself go.
Yeah, a lot of people do that, right?
That's when you're young. Like
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
we love like that anymore. The other day, I was remembered some of my first girlfriend, how passionate and intense it was, and
Mm-hmm.
but also brings like some suffering and fears and all that. But from that also became some leathers and some stuff. It was very strong feeling. So nowadays it's more calm down. Like my relationship with love is more, yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
the passion is there when it got to be, but everything is like there's no this strong intensity that to see,
Uh,
to have you, and
but
why you not here, that kind of thing of the, or that if she's a crazy jealous person because I'm in crazy love with her, I will not pay attention to it, and even it's a problem, I will ignore it.
Yeah,
You get,
yeah.
I got to an age when I just, you notice certain things and you say like, I cannot run with that.
Do you think it's because you got hurt in the past and you learn from the bad things that you've done that
I
you
think so.
carry
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
Yes. When my friends are asking me advice about what I should do with this relationship that is going wrong,
Okay.
or what I should do with this guy that I like and I
Mm,
cannot get him, or
mm-hmm.
I'm too shy to get close, I always say you got two choices: or you quit to that,
Mm-hmm.
like cold turkey, like you just look away and
Mm-hmm.
from the
Mm-hmm.
most strongest person and walk away, or you smash your face against it with all the strength, like you even run. Like I always said, like if you don't run away from the shit, you just run towards the shit and smack
Well,
the face.
there's two sides to that story. So two extremes, right? So some people quit too easily, like they don't fix, right? They just give up
Yeah,
with the smallest inconvenience, like there's a crack in
yeah,
my phone, okay, I throw away my phone. The guy disagreed with me, okay, goodbye, I don't want you. And then there's the
yeah.
other extreme where you take on too much, you forgive too much. The
Attached.
person
Yeah,
fight being toxic to you, and you need, I think, a good balance between taking the shit and not taking the shit. You have to see how much shit is in the.
exactly. But the only way to learn how much you can take is doing it. Like if you're afraid of a girl and you
Yeah,
never talk to her, you're gonna be all your life wondering, well, it's better to do the things with fear than don't doing it. And
yeah,
try,
yeah,
and
yeah.
sometimes, if you're honest and then say like, hey, I like you, I'm nervous here telling you this, but I like you and I would like
Uh,
to go have a drink
True.
with
You
you.
just have to just try.
Like sometimes they're gonna like that you're being honest and you're saying
Yeah.
like, I'm that's why I'm acting weird, because I'm nervous, but not because I'm a weird guy, just because I'm nervous. That in But then you will know if that person worth your value of coming forward
Mm-hmm.
or not.
Right.
If they if they reject you, I think it's totally fine. Just walk away with your pride, thank you,
Mm-hmm.
and don't feel. Yeah, I mean, of course, to feel the little scratch, but it's better to clear. And then you think, okay, I cannot look in that direction. I'm gonna look somewhere else, and you just keep going.
So,
Next girl.
so when
There's
you
millions
dating
of girls.
the Japanese person, do you feel like you need to change your approach, change some like who you are? Because they have something called tatemae, right? They don't speak their mind right away. They keep things in their mind. So were you just yourself dating your wife or whoever, or did you like, okay, I
Yes, I
know
think I
she's like this, I have to like do this.
no, I'm myself.
Oh, really? You didn't change. You was full 100% yourself.
Yes, if it's gonna work with me, it's gonna work. If it's not gonna work, it's not gonna work. I'm not gonna fake
Oh,
myself to.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I know that there's social cues. Of course, I follow the social cues,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
but I
Like
don't change my personality doesn't change because I follow the social cues.
I see.
I'm also Colombian, so I bring that to the front and say like, I'm from Colombia, so I'm more expressive than you. I'm more talkative.
Right.
I'm more open
Yes.
than you. I know you're
Yes.
Japanese and you're close and you're shy, but I'm Colombian and I'm not gonna stop my Colombian way to be because I'm next to you.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
can you know
Was
we
that like
can
a problem
communicate?
for her? Like you just saying everything you mean? She was like, oh, it was like too much, or she couldn't handle
No,
it?
yeah, like when when I say everything I think, it's not that I'm being aggressive or something. I'm just saying what I
No,
think
yeah,
or how I
true.
feel. Or
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So sometimes for me too, like if I'm dating somebody and I say how I feel, they think, I'm trying to start an argument or like I'm trying to say something else. But I have to say, no, I just express my opinion on this. It doesn't mean anything. So
exactly,
yeah.
I kind of have tell, but my wife is not a regular Japanese person. I think that
She's
family.
a regular.
Yeah, it's not the regular Japanese, very traditional people.
Oh, I see. Okay, okay.
So that thing that also worked. She don't like white guys, for example.
Oh,
If my
okay.
wife don't
Yeah.
like white guys, she's like, nah, I don't like them at all.
Well, you see, the white guys, when they're in Japan, they know they can get all these girls. So their mentality changed. They become all of this like player guys. So Japanese women who are looking for something serious realize through experiences, oh, I can't get the white guy because the white guy know I can get 100 of you anytime I want. So I'm not gonna really take you seriously. I think through experience, the
Some of
Japanese
them
girls
are, yeah,
realize, oh, it's too hard.
yeah, and also there's that the handsome guys have that all around
Oh well, yeah, that's
wherever
like
they
nothing. Yeah, yeah,
go.
yeah. It's like water.
And I notice also guys that maybe they're not so lucky in their own countries that they go to Japan and they might do well, or they go to Colombia and they might do well in Colombia because they
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
come with the white luck, whatever it is, and with money to spend. So those two things,
Yeah.
that's how the world is. The people sometimes, of course, when somebody's treating you bad, then you start to think about the feelings and the valuable and all the spirituality and all that. But while they're having fun with the money of the guy and all that, they're not thinking that. They're thinking, oh, this guy can pay the food, can take me to the nice place and all that.
Mm.
So it so some women go for the money right away, and some people for or they come, if it's comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
something is comfortable and it's easy, think why not, right? I
Yeah.
think me us as men, it will be the same if we were a world when we are being the ones chased by women with money that come to you and,
Oh yeah, that
hey,
will be a different life.
that I pay for you this, and you will take it if you're poor.
Yeah, I think it's different between men and women because we don't care what job she has, if she has money. We don't care about. We just care that we could take care of you and we have a good life for you.
and,
But I think
and
woman
then
is different.
you're gonna fuck with her.
Yeah, I think a woman, if she is rich, like famous, maybe she's a lawyer, she has good money or good job, she's not going to date down. She's not gonna like have a relationship with a guy who
Oh
makes
yeah,
less
yeah.
money.
There's a big difference between men and women, I think.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Like we would marry a McDonald's worker as long as she is beautiful and she wants to be with us. We would allow it. So I think that's the difference between how men love and how women love.
Yeah, some men are like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Some
yeah.
men, I think that, not. It depends. It depends on the quality of the man. I mean, if I met a girl that is working in McDonald's in their 30s because she's a fucked up person that is not going nowhere, I will not date her.
Ah, okay, okay. Well, for
But
me,
if
it's
I
based on
met,
personality.
if I
If
met,
she's okay, yeah.
if she's a person that is there, I don't know, she's like 20 something and it's just
Uh,
starting in McDonald's and going to
oh,
college. Different story, right?
oh, I see, I see.
Or,
Okay,
and
okay.
you know, it's about that kind of thing. I also
Ah,
don't want to, I was telling you, I don't want to get in a relationship with a person that's gonna downgrade me as a human being, or it's gonna be a problem in my life, so I cannot
yeah.
get better.
Yeah. She needs to have a good
Yeah,
personality, right?
yeah, somebody at least productive. There's some men that they don't care about that, but they because they just look in the pussy. I'm gonna fuck this girl.
True, true. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Gonna be my bitch. I'm gonna make her do my food. She's gonna do whatever I want. I pay, and she do. And that kind of relationship is also bad.
Yeah, I
That's an
know.
also very
Yeah,
bad thing.
yeah. True, true.
Right. So I agree with you in that many women will not date down. How the people say that?
Yeah,
But some men do date down because they want to have. They don't value the woman for
for who she
what the
is.
woman have in the
Yes.
head and the
Yeah.
personality, and how they just want the body and
Uh,
whatever with the body. And
yes, yes, yeah.
so there's two takes to that. From my point of
They just
view.
ignore. I don't care how you bad. Once I get what I want, it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Some men are like that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
am
yeah.
not like that. Like I
I mean, clearly you're married, so you were serious, right? You're a very serious guy.
I'm a serious person, but I don't think I'm a very serious guy. I joke around, I fool around.
No, I mean in terms
You
of serious, like you're not gonna play with girls' hearts. Like you're serious, as in you want
know,
a real relationship.
we are two artists in New York. So when we met like 7 years ago,
Okay.
we have been always in an open relationship,
Open.
even married. Yeah,
Oh,
even
I see.
even
Okay. And
even married.
I don't wanna like talk too much about relationships. I kind of wanna get through some topics before I go, right? So I remember seeing your images on Instagram, and is it just people like visual art, or like visual art? It could be like landscape, animals, or does it only have to be people?
No, I do mostly portraits, but visual arts is everything. All kind
I
of
okay, okay, because I just mainly see like people on your
yeah,
Instagram.
because it varies. I guess different themes,
Yeah.
and if you scroll down my Instagram, you will find all kind of things.
Ah, I see. Maybe I didn't look through enough. Okay.
Actually, but mainly I do portraits of people. But at the same time, if I see a landscape, a light, a reflection, I also
Right.
do collages. I also do video.
Okay. And
Uh,
in your opinion, what is the greatest work you feel accomplished since doing visual arts? Something in particular really made you feel accomplished. And
well,
also, what's your current goal as a visual artist? Is what I'm curious about.
one of my photos is in a museum. It's part of a collection of a
Oh,
museum
okay.
in Colombia, in the Caribbean coast. It's the Bolivarian Contemporary Museum, uh, co- Con- Bolivarian Museum of Contemporary Art.
Right. Right.
It's
Okay.
in the Caribbean coast in Colombia. There was an open call from the government, giving money to museums
Okay.
to buy emerging artists from
Oh,
the different regions of Colombia. So I participate, and this museum accept me. So yeah, I'm in a museum. So like you go to
ah. Wow.
part of the collection of a museum.
Right. Uh,
So
and
that's
mhm.
that. I'm in the books of art history of Colombia, for let's say that.
Wow, very good. Okay, good. I respect that. And I'm curious. In Japan, is there like a big event, or in Colombia, like a art event that many artists go to look around and
In Colombia,
yeah, or Colombia or in Japan? Like for example, for music festivals, you have something like Tomorrowland, or you have like Anime Con. So like for artists, do you have like a a art event or something big that everyone knows worldwide? Is there such a thing?
worldwide, I suppose. Well, in Colombia, they sometimes they do the Latin America Bienal of Arts.
Ah, that's
Sometimes
a
it's
big event, right? Okay.
yeah, that will be bring artists from
Uh,
all America, from
right.
South America, North America to
Oh,
Colombia,
right, right.
and that's every 2 years that happens. And every year we got the National Saloon of Art that brings that put all the artists of Colombia
So,
together. We got regional rooms like also.
okay. I mean, since it's every 2 years, it makes it more special, right? Because it takes some time,
Mhm.
like the World Cup, you wait so long, you're excited to go. So, in your opinion, when that event eventually happens, are you like really, really excited to go? Or like you have to go? You tell your wife, hey, the event is coming. Let's prepare. Let's make sure we go. Are you like that serious about it, or you don't really care?
I'm not really crazy about
Oh,
that.
really? I thought you would be because you're an artist. So I thought you would want to
No,
go.
it's like I'm an artist and I participate in things, but I'm not crazy to be in the spotlight or try to get things in the terms of
Oh, yeah.
like going to curators and all that. I think there's a lot of, how you will say, art is kind of rigged. All the industry have filtered every aspect of society,
Mm-hmm.
including art. So art commercially is a lot of, who you know, what money you have. Is your art trendy? Are you doing art that is trendy?
Yeah, because sometimes I see art is have a big price, and then I see another artist that has a very small price. Why is it so different? And, it looks the same, but I
Yeah,
think
there's a lot of speculation with the art world, and there's a lot of corruption going on in the art world.
oh,
So
corruption. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
yeah, always been. There's people that buy a piece of art for short money, and then they resell it for a long, or they buy a
Oh,
fake and
oh,
they sell it as a real.
right.
Or speculation, a new artist that somebody like that, so his art look a lot like Basquiat, so but he's new, so he's
Hmm.
the new Basquiat, so they do the big marketing with that guy that is the new Basquiat style that come from this poor background in this country, so he's special, amazing, and let's make his painting sell for $90,000, $250,000, and then 5 years after, nobody give a fuck about that guy.
Oh, right, right. So your wife does the same kind of art or different kind of art than you?
It's totally different.
Oh,
Yeah,
totally different. Okay.
yeah.
What kind of
She's
art
more
is that, if you don't mind me asking?
multimedia. It is more like multimedia artist, painting,
So even though it's
sculpting.
like different kind of art, it's still art, right? So can you
Yeah,
guys have some kind of conversation, like to supplement each other or give each other advice? Or
all the
it's not
time.
related at all, like
Yeah,
completely not related.
we no, we always talk about our art.
Okay, okay. And like, how do you handle the mistakes you make? Like, you take a picture, you do something, and you're like, oh, I didn't really like it. How do you mesh through the mistakes or make it perfect? Or do you even care about making perfect? Because sometimes art is about mistakes, right? You can make the mistake into something good.
No, I try to take good photos and to have everything under control, but sometimes things don't come out the way you expect. So what you only can, take that breath and keep going. Try the next time.
So, what in specific is a mistake you could make in visual art?
So as a photographer, you can underexpose, overexpose, something is out of focus, for example.
Oh, really? Okay. And
That kind.
so, when you just started, right? Who's your role model? Who is somebody you look up to? You really study? Like people play basketball. It's Michael Jordan. Who is like the goat of visual art? Who is like the number one
Oh, I
guy?
got too many. I got too many gods, multi gods.
Well, just
In
name one for us,
filmmaking,
like because we have no
I don't
idea.
know.
Yeah.
Like because it's too many arts. Like I watch filmmaking, sculptures, painting. So in filmmaking, I love Paul Thomas Anderson. I
Okay.
love David Lynch. There's a filmmaker from Vietnam, Pachap Makong, that is an amazing director.
Oh,
If you're
okay.
talking in music, there's so many good music that inspire me.
So, who's the number one Colombian visual artist right now in your well, yeah, in the Valley?
There's one guy called Oscar Murillo that is pretty trendy.
Oh
He's
yeah,
good. I
yeah, yeah.
don't really go crazy about him,
Oh, I
but
see.
uh, uh, there's I don't know. The dead ones. Antonio Caro, he died a few years ago. For me, he's the best artist.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh,
Pero died recently. He was a great artist.
what about in New York? Who's the guy in New York? Who's number one right now?
From Colombia, I don't know. There's so many
No,
of
no, New
us.
York, New York. Not from Colombia. Like the well, you living in New York now, so I don't know. You probably know who is the number one
Oh,
guy.
there's like that's the thing of New York. New York is happening 50,000 things at the same time. So there's many things going on there.
Yeah. Okay.
Joseph Serra just died, so there's showing that the art of his.
Right. Right. Right.
Who I don't know right now. The Guggenheim, the Met Museum have a very good show on fashion right now, and a very good show on portraits of medieval ages. Uh, if you go to the Guggenheim, I don't know what they show in the Guggenheim right now,
Oh,
but
so.
there's there's always something happening and you cannot say like this is the best guy. There's no one best guy
Oh,
in art.
really? I see. I see.
There's
And
not
mm-hmm.
one.
And this
art
and this
is
is this is your full-time job, right?
yeah.
I see. And doing visual art, is this something that you need to mentally prepare for? Like before you do the photos, you have to have a clear image in your mind of what you're gonna do and how it's gonna go? Or is it something like in the moment you just have to do it and see what happens?
You always prepare as a photographer. You always prepare for a photo shoot,
Oh,
or
okay.
if you wanna do a photo shoot or something like that. Also, if you're preparing something
Mm-hmm.
like a project, you write the steps and you do it that way. Some other things like the photos I do in the subway or in the streets of people, I know my film, I know my camera, so I know what are the steps I got to take to
Mm-hmm.
expose depending on the light.
I
But
see. Yeah. Yeah.
but the talking with the person, the engaging, the giving the order to direct and all that, everything is right there in that moment, and it's
D-
spontaneous.
Does the size of the person, the height, their shape affect how you would take a picture of them, or it really doesn't matter their body structure or size?
It depends on the person. Like
Yeah.
I have photographed homeless, very fat. I have photographed homeless that are very skinny. It depends how they look, how I'm going to
Okay. And,
frame them.
and sometimes when you go out in public, you can't control the lighting, and by that I mean they're gonna be like maybe a lamp stay there, and they're gonna have a light over here, and then you have the
And
light
I
from the
tell them,
moon, right? How do
I tell
you
them,
yeah, how do you manage all of those different light sources to your advantage? Or are you happy there's so much lighting, or is that something that's not good for a visual artist?
yeah, I'm a street photographer, so you work with the light that is available. So if there's a lamp, or if I found a person and we're not close to enough light, I will turn. Hey, can we do the photo there? There's light, so I can use it.
Oh,
It's too simple as that.
and do
Oh,
you
there's
oh
too
yeah.
much in
Mhm.
here. Let's move to that shadow there. Let's use that.
I see, yeah. But what if there's like no lighting at all, not enough sufficient lighting? Do you carry like a lamp or like a lighting or something?
No, no, no.
You always rely
Um,
on what you have at the area, hoping, okay, I hope this place has light.
if it doesn't have it, the photo's not gonna happen. It's not meant to happen because I'm a street
Ah,
photographer. I walk with my camera every day with it. So many of the people you see in my photos is just people
right.
I I see in the street and I talk to them like Harry Boy or you do.
Oh,
Same.
you just walk up to them and say, let me take a picture of you.
And I talk with them, and I like this of you, and I can start a conversation with them, and
Right.
then I ask them about their whereabouts, and I do photos.
Does it help if the person is very enthusiastic and very expressive? Because I know some people are not like that. They just take the photo, no smile, But some people are like, hey, yeah, and very vibrant.
I let them be whatever they want to show. When I noticing that they trying to not be themselves, then I told them like, there's no need to be extra. Just be
Uh,
yourself. But
oh,
you can tell you can. I mean, that's a photographer. I guess.
yeah. So,
But you can
do
tell like
you prefer having somebody who is expressive, or you don't really care?
I don't care.
And do
Yeah.
you care if they're
I
like,
have photos of a guy that it looks like a homeless,
really? So you don't care how they
and
look?
then I talk with them and I do a very good portrait, and they will be like they don't pose. He's just smoking a cigarette and looking at me, and that's it. And I
Okay.
do the photo of the guy and say like, "Do you want the photo?" Like, I don't give a fuck about that photo. Here we are. You
Okay,
know.
okay. So you don't like specifically go for good looking people, because when I interview like other people who do what I do, interview like Harry Boy, they tell me, right, that they specifically go for people who are good looking, or mainly girls, because if they go for girls, like it's more appealing to the audience. So for
Mm.
you, I mean, I don't know. Do you only like go for girls because people are gonna like girls and they're gonna follow you, girl, girl, girl?
Well, in
Because
my photo,
I mean, it's
I
natural,
I
right?
go I go for everything. Like I'm suppose I'm ambitious because I do have a lot of erotic photography and nudes and sexy photos with girls. I That's part of my work too.
No, I see.
And
Okay.
uh, but I also like to do portraits of common people, weird people, and
Mm.
it's also valid. I got a broad sense of curiosity, I suppose.
Is your I know like might be have a little jealousy, but is your wife okay with you taking pictures of girls who are nude? Because I guess there's a sense of trust there.
Yes, that
And I guess it's your job, so it's like unavoidable, right?
we communicate about that, and yeah, it's work most of the time.
And do you like when you take the pictures, you sell it to a company, like because if you take a picture of me and you're making profit over it, so it might feel strange for that specific person. So do
It's
you
more
sell these photos to people or
so
something?
all these photos are art, so they're by themselves. I will send it to sometimes an interview for a magazine, or I
Okay.
will show like this Esteban Abdallah, Colombian photographer. This is what he does. It's more art photography,
Oh,
photojournalism,
oh,
that kind of thing.
so if you present that
Or
specific,
people hire me like, hey, I want some nude photos, or I want some portraits. So I do.
yeah, they come to you and they ask you to take the photos of them. So let's say
Mhm.
you present some photos to,
That job, you don't see it in my. That job is not on my website,
yeah.
because that job is, private people. They don't want the image out, and
Uh,
it's for them.
w-
This is a street photography.
was there ever a time you presented specific photos to an agency and they said, "Oh, I really like these kinds of photos. Can you get more photos of this place or of this person?" Has that ever happened before?
I haven't worked with an agency yet.
Oh,
I
I
would
see.
like to.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see. So you are like an entrepreneur. This is like you're not working with a company who hires you to do these things. This is like something your own business. This is
Exactly.
what you do.
Hmm.
Oh, I see. So how old were you since you started doing this? How many years experience do you have doing this?
I started doing photography when I was 16.
Whoa. Okay. So you have a lot of experience, I assume. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and working with it when I was like 19.
So since you've been starting so young, do you believe that there's still more to learn, or you've been doing it so long, you're a master, you believe, okay, I have it, I know what to do, there's nothing more to learn?
No, there's so much things to learn.
Really? But you've been doing it so long, like,
So what?
okay, I thought, if you've been doing it for over like 20 years, I mean, that's a lot of experience,
No,
right?
but you're still learning. Like,
Oh,
every
really?
film is different, every camera is
Oh,
different.
I
The
see.
equipment, the basics, you know it, right?
Do,
You
do,
know the basic things. It become a natural thing. But I told you before. Now there's augmented reality. There's 3D scanning happening. There's so many things to learn. Like, you can.
so when you get a new camera, do you first learn every single thing about the camera, all of the specific functions, all of the hidden functions, and then you go take some pictures? Because if you know how to use the camera, obvious, like if you know the tool, the output is going to be better, right? Or you just kind of learn on the way
Well,
with the camera.
I suppose professional photographers or videographers, we know cameras. They're
Because
basically the same.
all cameras are going to be similar in some way, right? But just maybe a little
Exactly, the
extra new features.
configuration, all that is gonna be basic the same. So
Oh, I
if there's
see.
something different, maybe the camera announce it, like this camera is a specific, well known for this, so you will fuck with that. Like, okay, I'm gonna try to
Yes,
use
yes,
this
yes.
specific thing of this camera, but overall the cameras are the same, unless it's a new special camera. Let's say I'm working with a 3D camera. Never have worked with that, so I
Okay.
know the basic of it, but then you will have to know how I'm gonna sport this material, how I put it together, etc.,
All
right?
right. So this is my last question for you before I go. So tell me what you happiest about doing this job, and what is the most annoying thing, what you dislike the most about your job.
The most cool thing about my job is meeting the people I know and
You enjoy that the most.
capturing,
Okay.
capturing beauty. It doesn't matter if it comes with a person and gestures, or or a place
Okay.
or a landscape.
Okay.
But
Okay.
the most important thing, or the thing that makes me happy about my job, is like I really get to feel the e- essence of the people or the places where I am. I'm really there.
Right.
I
Mm-hmm.
really capture, and I get when I show my photos, the people really feel them and like them and wonder
Mm.
and ask me questions about the characters and
Oh.
the
Mm-hmm.
photos. So that's something, right? That's
And what about
and the
the most thing that you dislike?
annoying thing of being an artist is the business of the artist, I think.
Oh, that could be the
The
hardest for
business
you.
part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I'm the best businessman. I'm more a creative person.